a truck's dash cam caught the moment of an ambush. The video shows multiple people using a branch roadblock to stop drivers. The attackers were illegal immigrants angered by a recent demolition of their makeshift camp. As soon as the truck stopped, they climbed the guardrail and threw sticks, rocks, and concrete at the driver. Luckily, he got past the roadblock. He feared for his life, but was wounded by items thrown through the windshield. He had to seek medical attention. This unsettling dash cam footage shows the police's response to a report of two people in clown costumes harassing civilians and chasing cars in Menasha, Wisconsin, on October 7, 2016. The report came amid a disturbing surge of creepy clown sightings worldwide. People dressed as clowns sometimes threatened innocent bystanders with weapons. In the video, when the officer asked the clowns to show their hands to check for weapons, they complied by slowly and creepily bringing their hands out to their sides. They stood still and stared at the officer.
There's like 54 there. All with them.
Guys, just make sure to keep your hands where we can see them, alright?
217 down there. 276.
I want you guys to come up to this barrier right here. Go ahead and put your butts against it.
The officer then asked them to come up to a barrier and put their butts against it. This footage looks innocent compared to other reported clown sightings that month. But there is more to the story than meets the eye. It turns out a 26-year-old woman, the wife of one of the clowns, was driving them around. Shockingly, the couple had left their 4-year-old home alone for several hours to pull this prank.
All with them.
Guys, just make sure to keep your hands where we can see them, alright?
217 down there. 276.
I want you guys to come up to this barrier right here. Go ahead and put your butts against it.
This next footage takes place on a dark, isolated road. It starts out normal, but as the car rounds a bend, an out-of-place figure appears. He is wearing a suit and holding a briefcase and an umbrella. Right after, another identical man comes into frame. The men retreated into the long grass. Suddenly, it's clear there are multiple identical men. They seem startled by the vehicle, as if caught. Then, further down the road, another figure appears. This one is holding a flare. It's unclear what happened next, or what the driver truly saw that night. Many believe the driver drove right into a cult ritual. This footage was taken in the middle of the night in a desolate field in Saudi Arabia. Almost right away, you can see the driver slowly approaching a white figure in the distance. It appears to be holding a cane. As the footage progresses, the white figure starts limping toward the vehicle. After a few seconds, the driver starts to panic. The figure continues to move toward the driver, who is now terrified. The driver yells commands to the figure, telling it to back up and get away from the car.
Oh,
Lahat naman! Reverse! Reverse! Lagda! Lagda ka na sa yara! Ano sa yara niya? Lahat! 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 Abla! Abla! Abla!
Near the end of the video, the figure makes a shrieking noise directed at the driver. The video is disturbing and it's unclear what the driver caught on video that night. In 2016, a killer clown craze shook America for a few months. It involved people dressing as clowns. Some wanted to scare people, while others robbed and kidnapped. One night, a family in South Yorkshire was driving home late. Their dashcam captured a clown stepping in front of their car. The clown stood there, waving, then sprinted at the vehicle. The driver frantically reversed and finally drove away, forcing the clown to get out of the way. This video shows the dashcam footage of a Texas police cruiser. In it, the car in front of the cruiser suddenly swerves and brakes to avoid an object on the road. As the cruiser gets closer, it's revealed that the object is a woman passed out on the road. Luckily, Sergeant Scott stopped to help her by waking her up and getting her on her feet. The woman was suspected of being intoxicated after she crashed her car into a ditch and then passed out. What's terrifying is how many times she had almost been run over before Sergeant Scott stopped to help her. This footage is from 1:30 a.m. on a Sunday. It shows dashcam footage of a car on a quiet country road. As the car approaches an intersection, a hooded man is standing in the middle of the road, head bowed. As the car gets closer, the man tries to walk in front of it, forcing the driver to stop. Then the man screams and lunges at the car. The driver, of course, stepped on the gas and fled. The driver claims he then tried to warn his wife, who was a minute behind him on the same road. Unfortunately, he wasn't quick enough. His wife had the same encounter. To this day, the couple is unsure if the man was trying to rob them or hurt them. This footage comes from a police cruiser's dash cam. It shows 3 officers trying to help the owners of a broken-down car on the roadside. As the footage progresses, the officers look behind them, reacting to a noise. Then, they try to get out of the way of a car speeding straight towards them. The car barely missed the officers and screeched to a halt further down the road. The driver, 26-year-old Cedric Keith Henson Jr., was found to be intoxicated. The parked vehicles were seriously damaged, but luckily no one was hurt.